back, ready for the final race of the day. You're here for your heavyweights race 3. Eyes are down, all eyes are on the gantry, ready for the final race of the day. It's your heavyweights race 3, and it's time to let the race begin here at Warden Law. And your second place, Hassan Zafar, gets a brilliant start to line, and Colin Marshall is slipping through the field, and he looks like he's dropped all the way down to 4th. Will he be able to get back into 3rd place? He doesn't. He loses down into 4th place there. And out in front, it looks like that Haiden Harris has just managed to make a move just on Hassan Zafar. He's stuck to the outside. He's going to get a freight train all the way down back into 5th place. He's going to have the inside line though now as they come down into St. John's, allowing to go to 4th, and a tyre barrier goes flying in St. John's. They call that corner St. John's for a reason. And James Clare down the inside of Hassan Zafar going to center S's. Manages to make the move stick. Is he going to move across? There isn't any room to, allowing Hassan Zafar to keep a nose in as they head down into Dunlop Chicane side by side. James Clare and Hassan Zafar, who is going to back out. James Clare is in front. He manages to make the move stick as they head down the back straight. They're all single file, but Hassan Zafar is trying to go down the inside of James Clare, but it just isn't enough room. And Xiao Feng Yang is trying to make a move further back. He does. He makes it stick, but he's going to be on the outside coming up to the horseshoe here. And out in front, I believe that is Haiden Harris, has managed to pull away from the rest of the field. So after the first race there, a little bit of contact coming out of Paddock Bend there as we head down the main straight. Your current running order goes as follows. As soon as it loads. Current running order is Haiden Harris, Colin Marshall, Just About, Andy Laister, Sol Gregory, Jamie Moore, James Clare, Hassan Zafar, Ashley Mason-King, Simon Fulton, Arthur Bennett, Xiao Feng Yang, Alex Haig, Lewis Jolly, Jack Metcalf, Ian Simpson, Adam Thompson, Ian Wilson, Kyle Simmons and James Larson. Out in front, Haiden Harris is now pulled a 1.5 second gap as there's an absolutely mammoth battle happening for 3rd place right now between a number of drivers including Sol Gregory, Jamie Moore, James Clare, Hassan Zafar and Ashley Mason-King always is there in the back of the grid, back of the group, ready to make a move on these big... Oh, through goes Hassan Zafar into the tyre barrier. That's another tyre barrier on track. That's 2 in one race. We've got a yellow flag out at the top of the track down in Dog's leg, and also the tyre barrier down at the Dunlop Chicane is also out of track. That's getting moved currently. But out in front, Haiden Harris is still miles ahead now with a 1.5 second gap on the rest of the field and growing. But Colin Marshall is starting to have a worry about Andy Laister, who is slowly closing that gap because he's got that toe coming down the straight. As we look into the blaring sun, let's see who comes out on top on the train that's coming behind. We've got James Clare, who's battling at the front of that train that Jamie Moore is currently commanding as they head round Dog's Leg there. There's a substantial gap between your top 4 of Haiden Harris, Colin Marshall, Andy Laister and Sol Gregory. And then it's Jamie Moore who's at the back of the pack, and through is that James Clare that's trying to get past him. He's just about nearly did, but it's too wide going through all of the centre S, and it goes yellow. So whoever's out in front coming into this section of the track will have the position. It's yellow due to that tyre barrier on lap 1 of this race. They all go single file, but it's now back to green out on track. Like I say, the top 4 are well and truly gone. Massive gap between everyone, but it's James Clare who's trying to make a move on Jamie Moore, in his first round here at EKS. He's never done an EKS before. He's done a lot of Club 100, but will he be able to hold off James Clare, who this year has been a veteran in the EKS scene? He's trying his best to defend, which means James Clare gets pushed back into Paddock Bend. He's going to lose power all down the straight, so he's to slot in right behind Jamie Moore. He's going to push him down. Oh, Jamie Moore moves to the left, he moves to the right, tries to defend from James Clare. James Clare, there's no room on track, so Jamie holds him up. It goes yellow once again down at Dog's Legs. No overtaking to take place in this section of the track here. It's back to single file, and then they're back to racing as they head down into St. John's. James Clare is right on the bumper once again on Jamie Moore. Jamie Moore's going to move over as they head into the centre S's, so he doesn't. He leaves the gap because there's actually more than enough room between him and James Clare, but it gives James Clare a good run going out of the centre S's as they head towards the Dunlop Chicane. And a driver nearly ended up off track there with Ashley Mason-King now behind James Clare. I believe that was Simon Fulton that went nearly flying off track. As we look back out in front, Colin Marshall has got Andy Laister slowly closing the gap behind him, but Haiden Harris is currently checked out of this race. And speaking of pulling away, James Clare on Jamie Moore has pulled away more from the pack and train that they were in. It looks like now they can actually battle, and Jamie Moore does not have a toe as he comes down the Conrod straight. They're staying on that driving line. Ashley Mason King joins them on that driving line. As we head into the top end of the track, he tries to make a move, does James Clare, but there isn't enough room yet. He's sticking to his bumper. Jamie Moore doesn't seem to be defending aggressively. There will be a gap opening for James Clare as he goes tighter again, coming through St. John's. It looks like, though, Jamie Moore, sticking to his driving line, is able to hold himself out in front. But how long will that last? Especially if Ashley Mason King catches up to the back of James Clare, will he be able to push him through to get him past Jamie Moore and beat him by turn 1? As we look further down the grid, Sol Gregory is catching up to Andy Laister. That gap is really closing down. And Sol Gregory nearly goes for a move down at Gasworks there, but James Clare does go for a move down at Gasworks on Jamie Moore then. Jamie Moore throwing his car forward to try and get any sort of power out of that corner. Now James Clare's going to be slowly pushing Jamie Moore back into the clutches of Ashley Mason King, who behind him has another very talented driver who's been at the top grade all day, of Hassan Zafar, who's also defending for his life that further back from Alex Haig and Jack Metcalf. Battles all over the grid right now. Let's see what's going on with Hassan Zafar down there further back. So he's holding that train as they head into Dog's Legs. 4 drivers coming on the train, and the 5th one has just joined the back of it there, but they are slowly catching up to Ashley Mason King. So if they join up to the back of there, James Clare is going to have an almighty train that he's going to have to hold off for the rest of this race. We're only 5 laps into this race. There's a good 7 still to go. And Hassan Zafar is definitely closing in on Ashley Mason King. And Ashley Mason King is all over the back of Jamie Moore. I think Jamie Moore might subject to another victim of overtaking, but this time not from James Clare, this time from Ashley Mason King as they head down into Gasworks. He's got that toe pulling him all the way along. Is he leaving any room? No, he's not gone for room. There was no gap. Head in the air for Jamie Moore. I think he's not too happy about the current situation he's in. But right behind him, down the inside, goes the drivers of Lewis Jolly there, trying to make position, but he loses out just a little bit. As we head onto the Conrod straight, your current order goes as follows. We've got James Clare, Jamie Moore, Ashley Mason King, Hassan Zafar, Jack Metcalf, Simon Fulton, Alex Haig, Lewis Jolly, Ian Simpson, Xiaofeng Yang, Adam Thompson, Ian Wilson, Arthur Bennett, Kyle Simmons and James Ross. Down the inside there, I believe that was Jack Metcalf trying to regain the position that he had before on Hassan Zafar, so he's managed to get that before he gets to St. John's. And I can see Ashley Mason King is ready for an overtake. Look at the gap that James Clare has managed to pull on Jamie Moore there, with all the battling happening behind him. They are ready to pounce. Jack Metcalf has joined the party, and so has Hassan Zafar. This allowed James Clare to get his head down, try and catch up to the front of the grid. Maybe not all the way up to Haiden Harris. I mean, he's setting blistering lap times. Well, 1 minute, 8 seconds, 0.221. Checked out 3.2 seconds in front of the rest of the grid, but maybe potentially get himself on a podium. As we look further back, it looks like Jack Metcalf is trying to go for an overtake on Ashley Mason King. He's held it round the outside. He tried to dive down the inside, but the gap disappeared, and Ashley Mason King manages to hold it as they do a drag race down to the first corner. Ashley Mason King is getting a toe from Jamie Moore, which he surely will appreciate as they head into turn 1, the twisting sections of Brian's Bend. They head down into the dogleg. It's all back to single file, and it looks like he's all over the bumper. It's Ashley Mason King on Jamie Moore. There's surely an overtake going to happen, whether it's here at St. John's or whether it's here at the Essex, but Jamie Moore needs to be careful as a freight train might end up happening. Is this Ashley Mason King round the outside going to get stuck, and down the inside goes Jack Metcalf. He's going to keep the position, but Ashley is down the inside, so he'll have it on the exit on centre Essex. They head down into the Dunlop chicanes. It's back to single file, no side by side, using that toe to catch up to the back of Jamie Moore. If we look back into our top 3, there's a fight for third going on with Sol Gregory and Andy Laister. They have been swapping, chopping and changing the past few times. Oh, is that driver we've got Arthur Gasworks there? I believe it is. Is that the driver of Jamie Moore? I believe the driver that's been holding that train the whole entire race, keeping the likes of Jack Metcalf, Ashley Mason King off, is now at the back of the field and stuck after spinning off into the Gasworks. This allowed Jack Metcalf to go through. Hassan Zafar, Ashley Mason King lost a few positions, Simon Fulton lost a position, and Alex Haig all gained from that situation. Jack Metcalf can breathe for another day as Ashley Mason King is slightly further behind now, but he does have a champion right behind it, as in a British Indoor Karting Championship 2025. Your heavyweight Hassan Zafar is right behind Jack Metcalf, and if anything's to do what happened with Jamie, the same might happen with Jack as we head down into the double lock chicane. They are definitely gaining with that slipstream because they've got no help from James Clare, who has definitely caught up to the back of Sol Gregory, who's currently been battling with Andy Laister for the whole race. So, will he be able to get past us as far? Doesn't really need to worry about the drives behind currently, as Ashley's got his own problems to deal with Simon Fulton right on the back of his car. So Hassan just needs to get his head down, use that toe, and hopefully he can make a move on Jack. We're now on lap 9 of this race. There's not going to be much more to go. Probably about 3 more laps. We look into it. It's down the inside on Ashley. Goes Alex Haig, I believe. They're side by side going through Brian's Bend. Heading round into the dogleg, round the outside. Ashley gets stuck, the gap disappears for Alex, and Ashley ends up out in front, and Alex is left, losing time coming out of that section there. And Hassan can breathe and not have to worry about Ashley being on his case. But if we look further up the field now, if we look back to the 3rd place position, Andy has been holding it the whole entire race, trying to keep Sol, or Sol managed to get 1 or 2 positions on him, but James Clare has now joined the party. Sol has managed to just get past Andy there as we head round into Gasworks, and James Clare has managed to get an Andy there. That's 2 positions Andy has lost in just 1 lap, and there is James Clare following Sol Gregory through, which now puts James Clare up into 4th position and Sol onto the podium. As they're coming out of Paddock Bend, Sol now needs to think about defending. He's waving to James, saying work together. James says, don't worry about me, let's go. Stick to this driving line, let's try and catch up to 2nd. They might be able to catch up to Colin Marshall. They might be able to move further up the grid. James Clare is looking for a podium finish in this final race. He's going to be pushing Sol Gregory all the way to the end. With there only being 2 laps left, he might just be able to get it, or will he sit tight and sit in that 4th? He's looking at that inside line. Sol is now going in the middle of the track. I don't think any working together is going to be happening between these two as they fight for the final podium position. Pushing down back straight there, down into the double chicane. They're heading down to the back straight. Single file. Is there going to be any gaps closing? It looks actually like Sol got a better exit, but James Clare is getting a toe down that straight. And knowing Sol, he's going to defend for his life going through the gasworks there. But James is alongside. He's trying to overtake round the outside of the horseshoe there, but he just doesn't manage to do it, so it's to slot back in. And that is the end of the race. Haiden Harris crosses the finish line with a huge gap on 2nd, which is Colin Marshall. 3rd, followed by Sol Gregory. 4th, James Clare. 5th, Andy Laister. 6th, Jack Metcalf. 7th, Hassan Zafar. 8th, Alex Haig. 9th, Ashley Mason King. 10th, Simon Fulton. Lewis Jolly in 11th. 12th, Ian Simpson. 13th, Xiaofeng Yang. 14th, Ian Wilson. 15th, Adam Thompson. 16th, Kyle Simmons. 17th, Arthur Bennett. 18th, James Larson. And 19th, Jamie Moore. Come here. Well, for someone that doesn't like interviews, you sure do half keep winning so you end up getting in one.
It does help that it's a local track to me, but yeah, that was a bit easier.
That was a hell of a lot easier. I mean, last one, there was a little bit of worry at the start and then you pulled away. That one, I think you nearly had half a track on everyone. So I think that local knowledge definitely paid off there. So well done, man.
I mean, it was lucky. I got a good start. I was concerned because halfway down the straight on the start, it just popped and just cut power. I was like, oh, and then just had no grip going into top section, into dogleg.
Where did you start on that one?
I started 3rd.
3rd, yeah.
Started 3rd behind Colin. Colin had a all right start. It wasn't the best, but it's just the first lap was just understeery, just wouldn't turn.
Yeah.
So understeer through dogleg, just tried to make it round the corner. I looked behind me, heated the tyres up, and went.
I mean, it basically looked like on that first lap, you just positioned yourself absolutely perfect on that inside to then get straight into 1st. So well done, like perfect race.
Yeah, I know. It was quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well done. I mean, yeah, I'm sure we'll speak again.
Hopefully, we'll see. Well, thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you.